Welcome, it's week 5 of YPod. I am your host, AD Davis, and I'm joined once again by Mr. 60 Seconds, Gareth Cooperthwaite. Welcome back, guys.
Oh, thank you very much, Adrian. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Really good, and counting down to the World Challenge.
Yeah, it's 10 days on Wednesday. If you're listening to it on the day this podcast comes out. If you listen to it on another day, then, I don't know, you do the maths.
And if you're listening to it after the World Challenge, we hope you had a great World Challenge. So.
I hope it was brilliant.
Anyway, we are 10 days away from the World Challenge, as Gaz pointed out. Gaz, I've got a quick question for you. What do you think this is?
A shift in the atmosphere.
I have no idea what that is.
That, Gareth, is the official World Challenge song. And it has come all the way from YMCA Canada and from a young man called Sean Sonego. So that's just a little bit of a taster. What we'll do is, instead of the generic Google Music that plays the show in and out, I will put that World Challenge song at the end of the show and replace the music that usually ends the podcast. Sound like a good deal?
It sounds all right. Let everyone listen to it.
Good stuff. And, get it shared, get it played, get it added to your list of music for the World Challenge party, event, day. And, still time to sign up. Anything else on the World Challenge, Gareth?
Well, yeah, no, I've seen a lot of people have been actively talking about the World Challenge. I was even invited to the Belarusian World Challenge page today, which I took great pleasure in having a good read and seeing what these guys are up to. So, it's going to be all fun. Is
there any hashtags or anything like that, Gareth?
Yeah, so the main hashtag for the World Challenge this year is Stand for Youth. But yeah, have a look on the World Alliance page of www.ymca.int. Look over Facebook, Twitter, VK. It's all out there. So have a good look.
Great stuff. And that World Challenge song coming up right at the end of the show. So don't press stop until you've listened to it. Okay, moving on. It is week 5 and Gareth is once again going to try and beat this klaxon. This is becoming everybody's favourite segment, everybody being quite vocal about 60-second movement, which I want to point out Gareth has not yet successfully achieved. No pressure. But this week we went with Finland.
Yes.
You ready?
I am. I'm real worried because this is my penultimate attempt. If I don't do it this time, then I just ask you to pick an easy one for me and see if I can achieve it then.
Okay, well...
I'll do it this week. No, I'm going to do it this week.
Okay, cool.
We're on it.
60 seconds on the clock, and your time starts now.
So, YMCA Finland, founded in 1886, and they opened 3 YMCAs in their founding year. The programs are mostly clubs, scouts, camping and other outdoor activities. Do lots of stuff in physical education, sports in many forms, lots of international youth exchanges and study trips, lots of hobbies and activities for children and young people. Very keen on basketball and volleyball, two YMCA sports there, boxing and orienteering, training, volunteer leader education programs, do lots of after school work and lots of other things like that. They've got 2 actually quite big musical institutes as well in Finland, YMCA Finland run, with a variety of different orchestras from different groups, essentially as part of their work. They've got huge international aspects, with essentially all their activities. I knew I was close. I was so close.
Well, I mean, I don't understand why this segment's so popular, considering you don't let down every country you speak about.
I know.
So come on, give us some links for YMCA Finland.
So you can like them on Facebook at NMKY Summi, and their website is www.ymca.fi. There's a couple of Twitter accounts out there for some Finnish YMCAs.
Great, well done, Gaz. And what have we got coming up for the rest of the show?
This week's My Story is coming from Philip, who's in India, and we've got an interview with a buddy of ours called Tom, who messaged me at 1 o'clock in the morning to ask me when he was going to be on the podcast. Today, Tom. Tom, you're on today. And this is all coming up straight after this.
Hi, I'm Sylvia from YMCA Germany, and you are listening to Y-Pod.
Okay, so today I am joined by Tom Smallman from YMCA England. Hi Tom, how are you?
Hi Eddie, I'm great, thank you. Yourself?
Very well, thank you, very well. And for any football fans listening, there used to be a team called Manchester United, and back in the day they used to dominate and win not just one championship but two championships some season. And Tom here is a YMCA example of that. He is, as Gareth would say, the reigning and defending champion in terms of Global Link Award for YMCA England. So congratulations, Tom. To win not only a regional award but a national award, I mean, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I think especially from when I did do a quick little sort of speech at the end of when I won the award, and it summed up my journey through the YMCA over the last 4 years, from me knowing that one of my friends' mums was on the board of my YMCA and didn't know what the YMCA did. I'm like just one of them other members of the general public who, when someone said the YMCA, you just start doing the dance in front of them. But now started volunteering with them, and then 4 years ago started doing a bit of sports coaching with them, and just thought they were just a sports club. And then 4 years down the line, suddenly meeting not only sort of the European president of the YMCA in Europe, but also Johan from World Alliance, and also Romulo in Prague was sort of one of the highlights from the last few years, and really sort of brought me not necessarily back down to earth, but in a way it was sort of realising that, like other organisations where you've got all these top people right at the top telling people what to do, these people aren't those people. They're just normal people like me, myself, and you as well, AD.
I remember being at a conference and one of the participants from Bosnia saying to me and Gerard, you guys are just average. I've never been so happy in my life. Just for those listening, you're from YMCA England, and what's your role? You're from a local YMCA in England. What is your role within that YMCA?
Yep, so I'm from YMCA Worcestershire, which is just in the Midlands, about 20 minutes south of Birmingham. So my role is participation engagement worker in Worcestershire YMCA, and work alongside another young girl called Ella, who's a sort of activities coordinator / support worker, and trying to get some stuff going over there which can obviously help benefit some of the young people, and also encourage the staff as well to get people involved in as many things possible that's going to make a real impact in those young people's lives, and sort of move them into the stage where they feel comfortable to move out of the YMCA and into independent living and back to sort of normal society in a way.
Wonderful. So I guess my next question today, and it's one we've asked all season, is what does youth empowerment mean to you, Tom, personally?
I think the term leadership always comes about with youth empowerment, because it's always the first word that people say when they talk about empowerment and young leaders. But I think the one thing with youth empowerment is, obviously, it's got to be youth led. So you can't have sort of an older youth worker who's sat there telling the young people what to do and how to do it. I think that a lot of the time with youth empowerment, it needs to be a real sort of positive attitude to walk towards what they're trying to do, have to develop their own leadership skills within themselves, or whether it's a group they're working with. And I think a real important thing in terms of youth empowerment, especially across the YMCA and youth organisations across the world, I think it's about taking a risk to give those young people the chance to empower themselves. Because if they don't get a chance to empower themselves at all, there's not really much point to youth empowerment. Because if people don't get the chance, obviously youth empowerment can't thrive, and it can't sort of move forward and grow as a sort of culture among young people and youth organisations.
Interesting. With you being Mr. Global Link, I'm just wondering how to get involved in these international, regional events.
So I think for young people, it's sort of speak to your workers about it, speak to your young leaders about it, and the people that you see in your YMCA as someone who's helping you move forward in your life. But then, especially young staff members and even staff members, I think with staff members you don't have to be under a certain age. With a lot of things on a European level, there's all this under 30 sort of, not regime, but it's this sort of under 30, which luckily enough I'm under 30, I'm 22. But especially when I went to Berlin for a policy seminar in June, and I met I think it was the president of a YMCA in Finland. I think he was in his early 70s, so I think there's a long way to go yet for people if they think that they can't get involved now, and think it's a now or never sort of opportunity. I think with getting these experiences and sort of always looking out for them, so even in England, if you can just sort of sign up to the weekly email from YMCA England, and a lot of the opportunities come through there.
Sound advice that, Tom, just saying that it's ageless, these activities, and that it's never too late to get involved. One thing we've always said is that a lot of people who aren't involved in the international YMCA, they often view it as a holiday or a camp, or oh, you're off again kind of thing. I remember me being in a local YMCA, I got a lot of flack from people who just didn't understand what it was about. But what I'm going to ask you now is, do you see value in the international conferences and linking up with the movement, and how does that affect your local work?
In terms of the local work and how it relates to the international work, is that you've always got it linking back and making sure that whatever you're up to, you're always relating it back to your local work and how you can use it on a local level with the young people and staff at your YMCA. But the one thing that I really admire from these conferences and seminars and events is that I get a chance to learn about other YMCAs, but what's sort of most important to me is that other people get to know about my YMCA. So for instance, when I was in Manchester last May, and we did a table talks, and I talked about basically supported housing in England for YMCAs, and said that this is sort of the primary thing that people do at YMCAs in England. You have your normal youth clubs and different things across youth justice, but the one thing that they were really shocked about is they actually didn't know that people lived with us, which, bearing in mind there's over like 9,500 beds per night that YMCAs give to young people in the UK, and for people in Europe so close to you that don't even realise that's what happens, it really hit home, and a really shock to myself, because positive for me that I could tell people, but also I don't like to use a negative, but a slight sort of downer that people didn't know about it, and especially in terms of when we talk about the international work, that how people can get involved in stuff. That's one thing that I think needs to come first, is that people need to be aware that there's 15 other YMCAs in my region, there's another 121 in the UK, and there's YMCAs in Europe, all over Europe and all over the world, and we reach 58 million people on a global scale every single year. So it's it's a real positive thing to go to a lot of these international events and seminars, but there's also a lot of learning to be done by all participants, but all the other potential participants all around different YMCAs, I think.
Absolutely. One of the slogans that came to mind when we were trying to think for the YMCA was, YMCA, we do stuff. We do stuff. Okay, so Tom, what I'm hearing from you is very much, sharing the message, think global, act local. But just to finish us off today, do you have a message for people listening? Anybody who's listening from around the world to this podcast? Anything from yourself to share with them?
I think one thing to sort of realise is that you've got the potential to do what you want. Sometimes it's not handed onto a plate for you, so sometimes you do have to go that little bit further and push yourself out of the comfort zone and go and get something that you want to take away from different YMCAs for your own learning and your own growth into the future.
Thanks for that, Tom, and it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today, and I look forward to continuing watching your journey and watching you trying to defend your global titles. So thank you very much for joining me today, my friend.
That's no problem, Maggie. I really enjoyed it. Bye.
My name is Philip Joseph John. I am a youth volunteer with the Kayankulam YMCA in the southern India. I'm going to take this opportunity to share my journey with the Y and about some of the amazing camps I was able to be part of. YMCA is a part and parcel of my family, so I was very much aware about the programs of YMCA even from a very small age. My grandfather, along with his few friends, started a local YMCA. My father started his college from a YMCA hostel, which was much known for its Uni-Y and boys division. From then on, he became very much involved with the Y, even became the chairman of our state, and still he is involved with the Asia Alliance of YMCAs. Because of my father's serious involvement with the YMCA movement, I was also attracted to it. My attraction became an addiction 9 years ago when my father pushed me to attend one of the Y camps, which was the German Youth Exchange Camp conducted at our campsite. It was the first time in my life where I got a chance to meet and interact with the youth who were not Indian. I was so excited at that time to experience something really new and to know more about the Western culture. From that day onwards, I have decided to become the Y camper, something I called myself back then. I started to attend all sorts of YMCA camps whenever I got the opportunity and was able to make lots of friends from different places. Then, in 2011 came the break when I was able to attend my first international YMCA conference, which was the APY Youth Conference in Malaysia conducted by the Penang YMCA. I was a bit scared at first because I was the only participant from my state and didn't have any friends at first. Then I learned the first lesson about YMCA camps. The lonelier you are before the starting of a YMCA conference, the greater the chances are for making lots of exciting friends. And I did. It is inspiring to see around 200 youths from 27 countries, and the conference literally blew my mind out of proportions. I got a chance to get fully involved in the conference, and one of my favorite parts of the conference was the mangrove sapling program. Fortunately, my photo of the sapling was featured in the cover page of YMCA World Magazine, December 2011 issue. By the time I came back from that conference, I was a different person. My mind was stretched by new ideas and inspirations, and it never really got the chance to come back to its original dimensions. After that, I represented India to the Singapore YMCA Regional Conference held in July 2012, where around 220 YMCA leaders in and around Asia Pacific attended. And then, like a boom, came the life-changing moment of my life when I was selected as one of the national representatives of India and as a change agent to the World Alliance. As a change agent, I attended global citizenship training by the APY at Sri Lanka in 2012. The training was really informative and gave me an idea about the concept of global citizenship. In 2013, I attended Change Agents Orientation and Training held at Hong Kong. I was also a participant to the YMCA Europe Festival held at Prague, which is one of the coolest events by YMCA I have ever been to. After becoming a change agent, I took initiative to start a university YMCA. In my local Y, we organized many programs related and concerned mainly to youths. YMCA World Challenge 2012 was a really successful event, and I was able to convey this message to many local YMCAs, and around 300 YMCAs in India participated in this event. I was invited to talk about my experience as a change agent and my traveling to many local YMCAs, and I was able to express the message of the new way change agent concept and all the information I got from the camps. To find time for attending camps, traveling, and for other Y activities along with my engineering degree on one side has been a roller coaster ride for me. But I know one thing for sure, the blood flowing through my body is of YMCAs. I'm Philip, and that's my story.
Hello, I am Lucine. I am from YMCA Armenia, and you are listening to YPod.
Thank you for another My Story. Make your comments felt by using social media, hashtag YPod, and also remembering the World Challenges hashtag Stand for Youth. So this week, the question, Adrian, is...
Well, the question this week is, what message would you send to the 58 million people in our movement?
Woof, that is a big message.
Well, apparently not, from some of the answers.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, again, great response. YMCA movement doing really well responding to these. Some people take them very serious, some people having a bit of fun, some people, like to comment and air how they're feeling, which is what it's about, and I think that's great. I think that's great that there's this space, or we can be that echo to these voices. We got one that was like, be engaged and keep going. Hi, keep going, don't be beaten, you're part of something very special, even if others don't get it, you're amazing.
I like the fact that one started with hi. I think all these messages should start with hello, how are you? I'm good. I'm good.
I think
good.
we've got some coaches who've crept into this week's submission. Thanks for the support. Some of the nicest and friendliest people I know are at the YMCA. True.
Yeah.
We make real change, but we can do more.
Should do more.
Yeah. Bring people to the Y and let's work together.
Yes.
Make sure every person you meet leaves with a smile. Nice.
I do. I'm not sure why they'd be leaving with a smile.
Surely that depends on the local YMCA they're
It does
visiting.
depend on the local YMCA.
We had You Can Change the World.
Yeah.
We are a great power. All we have to do is use our potential. If you start to lose the passion for the work, find someone who will inspire you and let them mentor you.
Okay.
Good bit of advice. Love God and love others.
Good.
Communicate and work together. As a worldwide movement, we are so huge, as well as on a local scale, but the message I would send is please work hard to make this modern change happen, because it will take a lot of effort, but the results will be sensational. We are already the biggest youth organisation in the world, so you would think, after all this hard work the YMCA has put in over the years, it won't be hard to achieve unison. What a great message.
Yes, that was very good, that one.
A lot of people just saying hi. Some responses were from people who didn't realise there was 58 million people in the YMCA movement. So they were just like, wow, 58 million people, that is amazing.
Yes, no, that is a shocking statistic. That shocks me when I heard it at first.
I can't even get my head around like what 58 million looks like together.
I think the population of Great Britain is about 58 million. So you're looking at a population of around the United Kingdom of 58 million. Which puts it in perspective, because those that have been to London and seen how busy it is, that's only a tenth of the population of the YMCA.
I was trying to kind of like visualize it in, like when you have sweets in like a glass jar and you have to count how many sweets, you have to guess how many sweets there are.
That would be a big jar.
I was trying to get my head around it in like grains of rice or sweets or something. I don't know. Anyway, it's a lot.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll have to work out how many grains of sand it is for you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We had somebody who perhaps thought they were attempting to be funny. I don't know, but there was use dental floss and condoms.
It is advice that people should adhere to, especially if they're interested in
working with others
and dental health. But I think a lot of the 58 million knew this, so it's good advice, but might be pitching at the wrong people.
Well, I'm 30 this year, and what I have noticed is that my teeth, and I don't know why this is, my teeth are starting to kind of have some gaps in them. Not like like massive gaps, but just like a little bit. So I have, this last year or so, when I've been eating something with a seed in it or a bit of meat, I've got it stuck in the gaps in my teeth. So it's actually really good advice, especially if you have a meeting.
So hang on. So of all these amazing, great comments, the one that's hit you most profoundly is the use of dental floss.
No, I'm just, for some of our younger listeners, I'm just saying that
Dental floss is important.
as I approach the threshold for a young person within the YMCA, that these things are a reality. Grey hair and, gaps in teeth, they become a reality when you're looking at that 30 step.
Well, I'd also like to point out for the those that are listening, I don't have grey hair.
That would require you to have hair.
That would require you to have hair, but I don't have grey hair.
Okay, enough about my gaps.
No one hear more about your gaps.
If they get any bigger, I'm gonna have to wear a T-shirt that says "Mind the Gap."
Anyway, thank you very much for that. Adrian.
Wait, I've got one comment. Comment of the week. That wasn't comment of the week.
I'm sorry. How was gaps in my teeth not comment of the week? I'm
Okay.
sorry for this person here has to date this one last after gaps in my teeth.
Somebody topped it.
Ooh.
Their message would have been to the 58 million people stood in front of them. I have 58 million friends. Now beat that Justin Bieber. That guy's always trending.
Sometimes for the right reasons, sometimes very much for the wrong reasons. And thank you very much for those people that have submitted an answer. And of course, you can answer this question yourself. Use social media, Twitter, Facebook, hashtag YPod. I think that's it for this end of this week. Adrian, have you got any final comments, final thoughts, particularly not about your dental?
I think after my little outburst, I think I'm done. What about yourself?
I'm still stunned by gaps in my teeth. No, I think some of those comments have been very inspirational. It's been particularly interesting to hear all your comments from the past few weeks, and I'd just like them to continue because Adrian and I think certainly take a lot of inspiration, a lot of thought from your comments, and I'm hoping people that are listening do as well. So yeah, thank you, and continue to use the hashtag YPod, please.
Great stuff. Thanks for that, Gareth. And just another reminder, stay with the podcast, even though it's the end, because we're just going to play in its entirety the new World Challenge song. And I will see you next week, Gareth, for the last episode of the podcast.
Yes, you will.
Great stuff. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Speak up, speak out, speak up. Did you feel that too? A shift in the atmosphere. We're ready. The time is now, the place is here. And from what I see, I believe the moment has come to hear the voices of everyone. It's a time of change, new possibilities, a new generation making history. Let's hear from the people who will inherit the earth. Add your voices, it's time to stand up and be heard. Speak up, speak out, free yourself. Sometimes you gotta shout. Speak up, speak out. It's one for all and all for love. Speak up, speak out, speak up, speak out. When you feel small, it's easy to forget the power you have. So don't you let your voice be silenced or let hope fade away. If you plant a seed, it will crack the earth one day. Speak up, speak out, free yourself. Sometimes you gotta shout. Speak up, speak out. It's one for all and all for love. Speak getting smaller. You can reach your hand from where you live to any foreign land. So past the little things that set us apart, let's talk to each other, it's time we start. Speak up, speak out, a change is gonna come about. Reach out, reach in, with love you'll have the strength to win. Speak up, speak out, a change is gonna come about. Reach out, reach in, with love you'll have the strength to win. Speak up, speak out, a change is gonna come about. Reach out, reach in, with love you'll have the strength to win.